Welcome to today's live. If you're jumping on, go ahead and drop your name in the comments below and let me know where you are joining me from. So, today I want to ask you one question before we do anything else. Which Bible character do you identify with most right now in your business? Not the one who you want to be, who you actually are on a Tuesday morning when the numbers are not adding up and the fare is loud and you're wondering if God really meant you when He gave you the assignment, that person, right? So I want you to hold that thought because by the end of today's live, I'm going to show you the exact gap between where you are and where God is calling you to be. And the one thing that bridges it. So stay right here because this one is going to be amazing. So go ahead and give me a hashtag live if you're tuning in to me live today. And if this is the replay, go ahead and give me a hashtag replay. And for those of you that do not know who I am, my name is Andrea Russell, 5 times USA bestselling author, business implementation, and financial accountability coach for Christian women entrepreneurs who is ready to build a profitable business with strategies and the inner work. So, let me tell you who your audience wants to be. She wants to be Esther. Not the Esther who was afraid, and not the Esther who needed 3 days of fasting before she could find the courage to walk through the door. The Esther who actually walked in. She wants to be that woman who's walked into her assignment with the boldness. She's prepared, positioned, fully surrendered to what God has called her to do. And she did not shrink. She did not apologize for taking up space. And she did not wait until she felt ready because she knew that the readiness was going to come from the obedience and not the other way around. That person who showed up for the moments she's created for and created everything around it because of it. So she was strategic, faithful, unafraid. She charged what her transformation was worth and she showed up consistently, made decisions from identity, not fear, built a business that looked like her assignment because she finally stopped copying someone else's blueprint and started executing her own. That is why it's important to know who you are today because that is who this woman is becoming. And somewhere deep inside, she knows it. So drop Esther in the comments if that is the version of you that you are building toward. Esther chapter 4 verse 14 says, "Who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this." So go ahead and drop Esther in the comments if that is the version of you that you are building towards. So, let's say you are Moses, right? Right now, and not Esther, yes. So, who is Moses if that's who you identify with? If you're being honest and you're more like Moses, here's what's happening Moses at the burning bush. You see the calling as clear as day. You hear God speaking. You know in your spirit that He is asking you to build something real and that it matters. But here's what you're doing you're standing there listing every reason why you're not the right person for the job. You're inexperienced, okay? You do not have the right credentials. You have a past that disqualifies you. You're not ready. You don't know enough. You failed before. Your numbers are a mess. Your money beliefs are broken. and you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. And while you're making this whole list, right, the bush keeps burning and the assignment keeps waiting. And you're not doubting God, you're doubting yourself. And guess what? The enemy knows that if he can keep you at that burning bush long enough, he will talk you out of the very thing that God set you to do. So drop Moses in the comments if that is where you are right now, because there is no shame here. Moses went on to actually lead one of the most significant deliverances in all of scripture, and he started at a bush, making excuses just like the ones that you are making today. So go ahead and drop Moses in the comments if that is where you are right now. And so here's what I want you to understand about Moses, right? Moses had every single excuse that your audience has. He said he was not a good speaker. He said he didn't have the right credentials. He had a past that disqualified him. He had already failed at the thing God was calling him back to. He did not feel like he was ready, and he genuinely believed someone else would be a better fit for this assignment, right? And God met every single one of those excuses with the same answer. What's the answer? I know, Moses, but I called you anyway. Just go do what I say. Okay? Not go when you feel ready. Not go after you fix your past, and not go when your fare stops. Just go, because I am not asking you because you are qualified. I'm asking you because I am going with you. So your audience is standing at their own burning bush right now. They can see what God is calling them to build. They know the assignment is real. You know that the assignment is real. But you are too afraid to take the first step because you've convinced yourself that your excuses are bigger than God's calling. But newsflash, it is not. They never were. And the masterclass I'm about to tell you about is the first step from the bush toward the promised land. So Exodus 3:12 says, and God said, I will be with you. So go ahead and drop the word called in the comments if you know that God has put this assignment on your life and you are still finding reasons to wait. So, what then is the bridge between that burning bush and the promised land? Between the calling and the commissioning, between the woman who keeps making excuses and the woman who finally is ready to say yes. It is not another strategy and it's not another funnel. It is not another 90-day content plan. It is actually inner work that's done first. It's the surrender before the strategy. It's the healing before the scaling. It's the identity before the implementation. It's the alignment before the action. And that is the sequence that takes a woman from Moses to Esther. And it's exactly what the heavy to profitable framework is built around. Surrender, overcome, align, and rise in that specific order for a reason. Because you cannot walk into an Esther moment carrying the weight that Moses had at the bush. The weight has to go first, and that is what this work does. It takes the weight off, it clears the foundation, it gives you the inner clarity to match the outer calling. And then it gives you the business strategy to build on that foundation so that what you build actually holds. So, what I want you to do now is drop the word bridge in the comments if you are ready to stop standing at that bush and start walking towards the assignment that God has actually given you. So, here's the next steps. I'm hosting a free masterclass called from heavy to profitable. And it's the first step from the burning bush toward your Esther moment. In this masterclass, I'm going to show you exactly what is keeping you out of that bush. We're going to walk through the framework that's going to clear that weight and give you the first practical step towards building the profitable, faith aligned business that God has called you to. Not someday, not when you feel ready, but now. Because Esther did not wait until she felt ready. What she did was she prepared, she showed up, and she trusted that God who called her would be there with her when she walked through that door. And that's exactly what this masterclass is designed to do for you. The waitlist is open right now, so go ahead. The link is in the comments. Go ahead and grab your spot and then come back and tell me you're in, because I want to celebrate every woman who decides today is the day she stops listing her excuses and starts walking toward her assignment. The link is in the comments, so go ahead, get it. I'm routing for you, and I will see you in the heavy to profitable master class.